Have you heard of HMPV? It stands for human metapneumovirus. It's a bug, like a cold or the flu, that can make you cough and sneeze. Scientists found it back in 2001. HMPV is pretty common, and lots of people get it, especially kids and older folks. It usually pops up in the winter and spring. What happens if you get HMPV? Well, you might feel like you have a cold or the flu. Think stuffy nose, coughing, sore throat, maybe a fever, and some wheezing. Don't worry too much though. Most people feel better after a week or two. But HMPV can sometimes lead to worse things like pneumonia, bronchiolitis, or croup, especially for people who already have health problems. Sadly, there's no special medicine or shot for HMPV yet, so doctors focus on making you feel better and helping you breathe easier. This might mean things like medicine to lower fever, ease pain, and maybe a humidifier to help with breathing. We're hearing reports of lots of HMPV cases in China right now. It seems like other viruses like the flu, mycoplasma pneumonia, and even COVID-19 are also spreading around. People are saying hospitals are packed and it's putting a strain on everyone. We're still waiting for official confirmation about how bad things are, but it definitely sounds like this HMPV outbreak is no joke. Some folks on social media are even saying it's an emergency situation. But we need to be careful about believing everything we see online until things are confirmed. Right now, we don't have all the numbers about how many people are sick or how many have gotten really sick from HMPV. This could be because the hospitals in China are super busy taking care of everyone and haven't had time to share all the information yet. Plus, with so many viruses going around at once, it takes time to figure out who has what. Okay, so what does HMPV feel like? Well, it's a lot like other colds and flus. Think coughing, fever, stuffy nose, scratchy throat, and maybe feeling out of breath. After you catch HMPV, it takes about 3 to 6 days to feel sick. Most people are back to normal in about a week, just like the flu, but it can be different for everyone. HMPV spreads easily, just like when someone with a cold coughs or sneezes near you. It can also hang out on things like doorknobs and phones, so be careful about touching your face. The good news is that we already know how to stop germs like this from spreading. Remember to wash your hands with soap and water for at least 20 seconds, especially after you cough or sneeze and before you eat. Try to keep your distance from people who are sick. And if you're the one feeling under the weather, stay home so you don't get others sick. Cover your mouth and nose with a tissue or your elbow when you cough or sneeze. And try not to touch your eyes, nose, and mouth without washing your hands first. Oh, and don't forget to wipe down things that people touch a lot, like doorknobs, phones, and light switches. HMPV and COVID-19 are both viruses that mess with your breathing, and they can make you feel pretty bad. But they're not the same thing. We've known about HMPV since 2001, but COVID-19 was brand new in 2019. That's why COVID-19 spread so quickly around the world. Nobody had any protection against it. While we're keeping a close eye on HMPV, it doesn't seem to be spreading as fast as COVID-19 did at the beginning. There are probably a few reasons for this. First, many people have probably had HMPV before without realizing it, so their bodies know how to fight it off. Second, HMPV might not be as contagious as COVID-19. So what's the bottom line? While we need to stay informed about what's happening in China, there's no need to panic. We've dealt with HMPV before, and we already know how to protect ourselves. Remember all those things we learned during the COVID-19 pandemic? Washing our hands, wearing masks, and being careful around sick people? Well, those things work for HMPV too.